Okay. Fourth 360 Vita podcast. It's been 1 month of the new year. We got some new topics to discuss.
That we do.
A lot of stuff has happened. A lot of current events. Some crazy stuff. We got a whole list. Should we get right into it? Anybody want to share anything off the rip?
What do you want to start with, Max?
You know,
What are we thinking?
I think we're fried.
Yeah.
I think we're fried. You know, fascism.
This might have to be the
A
USA
lot of,
cast.
a lot of micro penis
today.
energy.
You would be
know what I
familiar
mean?
with that, right?
A lot of,
That
not
was
I.
bad.
Not I.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about the palm people. But anyway,
CTC level
Yo.
joke. Outrageous.
Oh my God. So this Monday, last Monday that passed,
Yep.
Martin Luther King Day, they're gonna hold the inauguration. That's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then our favorite Tesla CEO, whatever you
Whose
want to
favorite?
call him.
Your favorite?
Not,
Who's
Not
our?
my favorite. Who's
Who's
favorite?
our?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. When I was in college,
I know you was an
2014
Elon.
to 2018,
yeah,
I wasn't an Elon rider, but
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this is mad cool. Cause the Neuralink shit,
yeah.
you gotta know. I studied cognitive and brain science in college, so that's like right up my alley.
Mm-hmm.
All that
understand.
like philosophical. Can I upload my brain to the fucking cloud?
Kenny
That's
was
like
ready.
that was everything I was studying, and I was like, this could be a real thing. But then I realized this is not gonna be around anytime soon.
Mhm.
And then if it is a thing, it's gonna fry people's brain. And also, I don't want to live forever. And then I was like,
That'd be
alright,
terrible.
fuck
Yeah.
Elon.
It's all right. It's all
And you
right.
would have had a Cybertruck too, right?
Yeah, he would have a
Definitely would have
Cybertruck.
had the Cybertruck.
No,
No, I
by
think
now,
he
but
would
anyway.
still
You
have.
could
a
have turned
Cybertruck.
into. You could have turned
No,
into
no.
Martin
Give
Shkreli
Kenny the
or
opportunity.
something
He's
like
in that
that.
truck.
It could have been something crazy.
Oh my God! But you know, Elon Musk, he did something with his hand that was definitely a Nazi salute.
Why do you word it like that?
Which y'all think? Y'all thought it was a Nazi salute?
Listen, all I'm gonna say is it looked eerily similar to a Nazi salute,
Yeah, he got lost in the sauce.
and just based on what he be posting on Twitter, if it really was one, I would not be surprised.
yes,
I would not be surprised.
yes.
Can we talk? You know about the America Twitter account that he made?
Hmm?
The America Twitter account.
There's a Twitter account called America.
Yeah,
Yeah,
did he steal
that
the ad
he-
from somebody?
Yeah.
Wait,
stole that-
he runs America.
Yes. He
The
runs
man,
America.
the man from South Africa.
Yeah.
He runs America
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he
I'm
stole-
just I'm just
Yeah.
noticing.
He also runs the America country.
Yeah.
as
Oh,
well.
yeah. That's at America. Yo,
Yeah.
at America don't even have 1 million for L. That's crazy.
But I think it's crazy because
Bruh.
he be posting like, I don't know. I
He
feel
do a whole lot of we.
Yeah.
That's
He be
what I'm
posting
saying.
like on behalf of America, but
Yeah,
he
that's
be-
what I'm saying.
But he be posting his own crazy, you know what I'm saying, opinions on it. Like, this
First
is
off,
not what
nobody
America
in
represents.
America
What stands for?
is allowed to post from the account America. This should be illegal, first of all.
Yeah,
Nah, this is crazy.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think as far as the gesture, I think even if I'm being at most charitable to him,
Yeah.
I think given his platform, given the shit that he did, just the fact that he very accurately represented what a Nazi salute looks like, even if it was not his intention at all, that's a very, very bad look.
Mhm.
That's a very, very bad look, and that needs to be denounced.
You know, yes, that's a great point. Because he hasn't even come out at the time that we're recording this and said, nah, that wasn't
Yeah.
it.
They don't care.
This is not.
Oh
there-
yeah,
there's not
that's
like
actually true.
like-
Trump did the same thing during his presidency. Whenever he would do some shit like that,
Yep.
or like when he refused to denounce
Denounce-
Charlottesville riots
Uh-huh.
and all that like
Yep.
shit.
Mhm.
He'd be doing that good people on both sides shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they'll never like. There's just too much to lose. And Elon Musk is already shitting bricks after the Twitter H1B crash out he did.
Oh,
when
he
he said-
crashed out.
And then
bro.
everybody was like, "You were supposed to be here for us, no!" And he was like, "Fuck off, cheap labor, bitch. I'm worth 400M now." And so then I think after that, he probably got a lot of smoke from, his overwhelmingly stupid fan base, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
probably he has to fall back a little bit.
Yeah.
and
He
regroup.
started posting mad like Nazi jokes and like
Mhm.
Yeah,
on Twitter
he
and
always
shit.
posts like "end wokeness" and then quote tweets like "black woman in game" or some shit like that.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
yeah.
Always and he always does. I was telling Akil, he always does the nudicing under whatever crimes. Like it's like, All right.
But
For
you know
sure.
what though? It was not like this back in 2016, 2018.
Bro,
on
it
his
wasn't
account.
like this in
He was
2020.
posting the complete opposite.
I mean, I don't even really know what he was posting up
No,
until
I can tell
2021.
you right now, he was like all about pride. He was all about diversity, being inclusive. Go back if you go back to his
Yeah,
shit.
no, I believe
He
you.
did a complete 180 from then to now.
I believe it.
I do think Trump's presidency makes these super right wing people real comfortable. They're real audacious.
I don't even think he specifically is like one of the super right wing guys.
but
I think he
makes them
puts.
feel comfortable.
Yeah, I
That's
think
what
he
I'm saying.
puts on, but I think it's also a big money thing. We can talk about the whole grift aspect of the right wing, true, because that's like a big part of all this, and they all have to pretty much act very like. I don't want to say shallow because there's a much better word than that, but there's a certain way like the misinformation and just like the type of negativity and rhetorics, like negative rhetoric spreads, right? Because it gets the money. And I think that's also a big deal, that even if he, and maybe, I mean, I don't know Elon Musk, but this is from what I've perceived. I don't even think he specifically is that right wing in general. Yeah, he obviously stands for a lot of those things, but I think it's just a lot easier for him to get that support. I mean, he obviously doesn't do anything that would get him any points with the left, right?
Right.
But yeah, that's just how I see him specifically. Like, I don't see him on the same level of like right wingedness as like Alex Jones and all of them.
Yeah.
You know,
I want to stay on this for a second.
Sure.
I think Elon Musk is a power seeker.
right?
Like, he's
Yeah.
going to find where the power is.
That's why
And-
the H-1B shit was such a big deal, because he showed himself as like
And-
a money guy.
Yeah.
And is
Right.
that not right wing though?
Not necessarily. I think he is right wing. How far right wing? I think like he's right wing enough to be far right. I don't know if he's like as intentionally like, because he wants to bring like immigrants through H-1B because it makes sense for his business, but like most conservatives don't want that
He
regardless.
looks at shit from like a really fake logical, we must keep building, expanding, and money has to go up type
to that
perspective.
point, like when
Yeah.
he was doing when the Tesla first came out, like electric cars skewed very left. Like those
Yeah.
were the things
Yeah,
that
you're right.
the left people, like those were the people buying
People used to
Teslas.
make fun of electric cars.
Exactly.
So much. They used to
Exactly.
be like, oh, this shit is fucking for pussies. Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you're right about that.
the fact that like I think Tesla started to decline, I'm not sure, but the fact that there wasn't like a overwhelming allegiance from the left to support him and all his ambitions, whether it's Tesla, Neuralink, fucking Starlink,
the speed train or whatever.
the speed train, whatever, the spaceship shit.
Yeah.
Like he's a very ambitious dude, probably an egomaniac. He is very power hungry. He has a lot of things he wants to do, and the fact that Donald Trump is giving him the power to do that, he's gonna follow whatever that side will allow him to do. And it just also happens that he's very racist in some of the things that he does and the way he acts, also sexist and a bunch of other things. Not surprising from him because he's from South Africa and his parents are what they were, but I think
blood diamond come up and all that. Yeah.
like it's not.
No,
I don't
seriously,
think.
yeah.
I don't think it's like racism from like where you or conservatism where you would look at it from like down south.
Sure.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah,
I get
yeah.
exactly what
Yeah.
you mean.
But it's like a
like
different type
yeah,
of
There's a lot
different
of
type.
classism.
Nah, what you said, I really get now when you said Trump allows him to do this, so of course he's just gonna follow. Because it's true. If you're power hungry and business hungry, that's
You're
the
gonna
most
go wherever
powerful person
yeah.
or top 3 most powerful person in the world. If that's your butt buddy now, shit is crazy. You're not even looking at anything else. He got way bigger plans. Also, his fucking net worth has doubled, I think, in the last like 3-4 months. Like shit is
Wait, really?
probably.
dude, he's worth $400-something billion now.
which is ridiculous.
Bro, like that.
No one should be
That shit
One-
was-
rich.
One human worth $500 billion is
400
so
B?
crazy.
No, because when I saw the stats of it, I can probably look it up. I'll look it up later. But when I saw the stats a month or so ago, all I could think was, holy fuck, someone's gonna hit $1 trillion, and it's not gonna be in our lifetime. It's gonna be in 3 years probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, unless like crazy recession happens, but whatever the case is, I was just like, how is this even possible? Where's the money coming from if everybody's poor nowadays? Because nobody can afford anything.
Yeah.
But we're seeing record fucking salaries, record fucking money. Like it shit is nuts. It's super bad, bro. It's like scary. Just like
What are you gonna say, man?
Billionaires are like there's no morally correct way to become a billionaire. Would y'all agree?
Yeah,
Like,
I
I don't-
think
I don't
I
think
think
we
a
can-
billion is like a
I would
pretty.
think you.
I don't know.
The difference
like-
between a million and a billion is so.
I would
Well,
say I would
yeah,
say there's
that's-
no way to even millionaire for me. Like once you make over $500,000 a year,
Mhm.
like you're probably not doing shady shit, but like
No.
you
No, I'm-
probably
I say if you in the low
it
millions,
depends,
I
though.
think
no,
you.
but it depends. Like, I don't know. You're probably LeBron James not doing no
some,
shady
some
shit.
people you could be in the low
You're not-
millions and
You're talking about like the regular, normal person, non-celebrity millionaire. That's what you're referring to, right?
well the regular normal person is not a
I'm saying you're referring to millionaires that are not like high profile.
yeah
Okay.
I think the highest concentration of those exist in New York.
probably.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's true for sure.
I would
In
I would
young
imagine
adults.
this is
Because
I'm
I
not,
remember after coronavirus, the numbers became very skewed because a lot of people became rich off the internet, off of whatever e-business or gambling or whatever the case is. So I don't know. It's just something I wanted to add. I was thinking about.
I think even only on the basis of not wanting to pay your taxes, I think is what I would say is like fucked up or like not moral.
That's a pretty good reference point because I think of everybody who makes hella money that at some point did something stupid to evade tax. Like which one of the Paul brothers was like, I'm moving to Puerto Rico to evade
Logan.
crypto tax? I remember seeing that shit. I'm like, dude, like, what is the level of greed?
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
but
like
not
the regular 9 to 5 person get taxed every single paycheck.
What'd you say?
yeah. Now I was gonna say continue, but
Yeah.
I would say a million for me.
Is
But continue with
what?
the point.
But no,
Billionaires.
I didn't really have like a super big point. I just think to become that absurdly rich, you have to have like bad business practices in some way that's affecting lower class citizens.
I don't know. I don't want to agree with that.
I
and say
disagree. I
100%
disagree with
of
that, 'cause
billionaires
you-
are like evilly,
You can
morally
you
corrupt
can do
people.
things that don't net positive affect society. But I highly disagree that if you want to make a few $1 million, you have to take advantage or what you're saying. I absolutely disagree with that. You can very easily make a couple million without
No, I'm not saying
anyone
million. I'm
hurting.
saying Elon Musk level.
Oh,
Okay, well that's okay.
okay. Well,
like
now
or
well,
billion
you
in
just said
general.
million or billion. If
No,
we're now
no, no,
talking
no, no.
400B, it's a whole different story.
No. I'm saying any billionaire,
Yeah.
but then the Gilbert.
I would say-
I
would
don't know
say-
if every single billionaire.
I would say
is
probably
some-
like a high majority though. I can probably agree with that. In like a
Let's
vacuum.
name some
Probably.
billionaires that we know
Alright,
at the
Bill
top.
Gates.
Louis Vuitton guy, handbag man. Oh, what's his Bernard Arnault or whatever.
Bernard Arnault.
Yeah, handbag man
I'm sure-
definitely
I'm
does
sure-
evil business practices. He's
I'm
100
sure
years old.
he invests in some like fucking military shit or like some
You
super
you
oil
really
shit.
think
No, we're
them
making
factories?
a lot of
You really
assumptions
think
right
them
now.
factories have
you-
honest business practices? You really think
No,
handbag
definitely
man
not,
at
definitely
age
not.
I'm sure-
100
I,
is still doing that?
I'm sure you could find his portfolio and
I
see
used to
what
always
he,
put in the group chat, handbag man is the richest man in the world again. No, let me
'Cause-
look this up.
like. I know a lot of universities when students are protesting and they're asking the school to divest from different whatever whatever investments that they have, it's typically like military weapons like oil types of shit.
Yeah.
So I would imagine someone like a Bernard Arnault or that level is
making a lot of money.
making money off of that because it
I
just
can
makes
see
sense
it.
to put your money in there. I don't know that for fact. I'm just
Bro, yeah, I also think like if
It
you're
just
hitting
makes
those
sense.
absurd levels of millions and billions, then you're probably not super choosy with. Oh, that's not really my vibe though. Like that might be kind of. You're probably just
You're like,
fucking throwing your
the
money
bread
at all-
is the bread is the bread.
That's what
yeah.
I was saying. If you,
That's what I was saying.
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Like I think the ethics of like what's good and bad money probably gets super skewed once you hit past in their brain once you hit like a certain threshold. Because like then it probably goes past the money, right? You unlock a bunch of new shit, right, in your like in the world at that point, in between the people you meet, the things you see, the places you're in. Then there's probably a bunch of like just like competition and all that shit. Like, anyways, getting off topic. I agree with you for like I would say a majority of billionaires. I don't know. Obviously, I can't prove it nothing, right? But I would think that I don't think you can reach $1 billion ethically for the most part. I mean, I can look
That's-
up like
that's the word I was looking for,
I don't.
ethical-
I can't. I
ethically.
can probably like look up like nonprofits that somehow did it, even though they're nonprofits. But like, I don't know. Can you guys think of anything like a billionaire that's like
I cannot think of any.
Oprah?
Ethical, like,
Oprah is a
Rihanna,
billionaire.
a billionaire. What did she do?
Oh wait,
Rihanna.
You know
Rihanna
who's
sells
a billionaire?
No,
Yeah.
we gonna find out. We gonna find out who makes Fenty. We gonna
I'm
find
just
out.
saying-
We gonna-
I'm just-
Don't say it.
I'm
I'm
just
not
throwing
gonna
that
say.
out.
I'm
I'm
not
just
gonna
throwing
say.
that out
I'm not
that
gonna
he's
say the
saying. I'm just throwing
doctor.
it out.
I ain't gonna say the doctor. Sorry, sorry.
I'm just saying that he is one. That's all I'm saying. I didn't say he was ethical in that. I'm just saying he is
Nah,
one.
he's for sure not ethical. I heard that on one of his
Yo.
albums, he told them no one is allowed to have sex. I remember that when Jesus was kid. Yeah, he gotta go. He not ethical at all.
I think it depends on how you define ethical. Because like,
Nah,
What?
but there's levels to it, right? Because that man's ethics is probably
Versus-
not
yes,
as bad as
like Elon
yeah,
or
his is
or
like
whoever.
personal demons.
Yeah, that's his own personal demon type shit. Yeah.
Supposedly, I don't. But okay, that's actually very fair.
I think the biggest thing for me are two things. I think one thing that you mentioned is like the good and bad money. I think to get that rich, it can't even be a
Right,
thing
that's
in
what
your
I'm
head.
saying.
You
That's
can't-
not- it
can't be a
like,
thought.
You can't.
Like,
Yeah,
bro,
you
If
can't even think
you're always
about.
thinking of going up. You're not stopping to think.
Yeah,
Uh,
you're just
yeah,
trying to get the bag.
sure.
Wherever the opportunity for
Is
the
this
bread
really
is.
fulfilling all the
Because
OSHA
you're already
requirements?
you're already
No,
past
bitch,
you're
I'm
already
getting
past
in the
money.
bag.
Nah, because you're past
Exactly.
money for comfort at that point.
Yeah.
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 You
Yeah,
nobody
you're comfortable already.
nobody's
Yeah.
spending $1 billion. You buying a
Yeah.
fucking Boeing? Like you still got a surplus money at that point.
Yeah, and I go ahead.
And then you have people who are
Yeah. Fuck.
like super struggling. I'm trying
Oh.
to find a word to just.
I'll tell you
to
an evil
describe it.
billionaire, by the way. Hove, evil billionaire.
Yup. That nigga sold out Brooklyn.
He's so evil.
Yeah.
That nigga sold out Brooklyn.
Evil billionaires.
No.
I thought of one.
There are people.
Not my nuts.
$1,000. That's so much to them.
Yeah.
$1,000 is.
I
These
think-
people could
Wipe their
lose
ass.
$10,000 and they won't blink. They will. It does not affect their pockets at all.
Yeah, I just saw 42 Doug put $15,000 on a parlay on Siakam.
Yeah, and the fucking caption, LOL, are you fucking kidding me? Bro, just send
Yo.
that shit to me.
That's what I'm saying, bro. If you want to burn bread, just throw me 500.
Yeah.
Throw my man's two.
Right?
3 bands over here. 5. Come
So
on,
then
man.
you get these super rich people and they don't even want to pay taxes.
I'm of the
Like they
opinion,
don't
huh?
even want to pay high taxes. Like you have the bread to spare.
Yeah, that's the craziest part. I make so much. I'm paying so much, bro. Why
Yeah.
should I pay this much? My brother, you
made the bread.
Yeah.
You got enough.
Also, they
Exactly.
gotta stop bitching because they got regular people paying 30% tax bracket and already getting fucked.
Yeah.
All right, so to even be complaining about paying 40 when again regular not fucking rich people at all pay 30% because you can have a good job, make 120K, be put into that 30% bracket because of that, and then you lose all your bread
Yep.
after rent plus income tax. You literally
Yeah.
lose all your bread, right?
Mhm.
Food, everything, blah, blah. So it's like, I think it's just so insane for them to cry about tax. That's one thing that really
Yeah.
gets me fucking tight, bro.
Imagine making like, let's say, like 5 to 10 M's in a year, and you got to give up half of that.
Yeah.
You still got
still
5,
straight.
bro. You still got how many
straight.
M's,
But bro, that's the other thing, cause it's like you're bitching that much from not even that crazy of a hike up. Cause again, that regular people, if we have jobs that makes low 6 figs, we are going to be thrusted into that 30% tax bracket, which I think is just death, first of all. But
Mhm.
anyways, yeah, and then they be crying over 40. I don't even think they have to deal with 50, do they?
They probably don't.
That's
No,
what I'm saying. I
I
don't
don't
even think it
think
goes
so.
up to 50 in the U.S., bro.
Yeah.
No.
So it's like, what the fuck is there to cry about, bro?
Yeah.
And then they always write everything off because all millionaires and billionaires have that completely down pat. They put shit in the name of businesses. They put shit in the name of land. They put shit in. It's just like,
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's like a mental process thing where like they just can't perceive
yeah,
like the amount versus the percentage. I think they see the percentage that they have to pay, and they focus more on that than the
Actual amount.
It's
amount
all
that they
BS
have
anyways.
left.
Every time I see any like any rich person trying to like defend that shit, they always just defend it by like trying to obfuscate what's really going on about it.
Yeah.
And just saying like BS. And it's like, bro, just pay the shit. Like, just pay the shit. Like, what else is the point? It's like, yeah, tax is a bitch, but it's only such a bitch if the rich people themselves aren't paying the that's where the issue is. There are no broke people evading taxes like
Yeah.
that. Your ass going to jail.
Mhm.
Or you don't make enough for there to even be a legitimate
then
tax there.
We,
Like,
we were only talking
my
about
God, bro.
millionaires
Shit
that
pissed
are
me
in the
off a
public,
lot.
but they're like billionaires. But there are billionaires that we don't even know, lawmakers, all those like super rich, super wealthy.
there's so many
1%.
CEOs you have no idea who
You
they
have
are.
no idea who they
Yeah.
are. So
Random plastics companies, random whatever, like
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
random like farm
yeah,
type shits.
and then they'll invest in like the jails, and these are things that's terrible.
Unethical.
Like private owned.
I give you
Private
an
owner.
example. when I was in Costa Rica last year, I went to this really beautiful restaurant, and when it was like a steakhouse, and on the menu it said that all the meat comes from a farm that has been doing this for like 4 families, like generations or whatever. And then the family is apparently like super duper rich, like hundreds of millionaire rich, that they've been living there doing like all this like food in Costa Rica. And I was like, damn, like it's cool to see that, but that's what I mean. It's just like there's so much stuff you got, like we don't even know.
Yeah.
That family wealth can be really
And
crazy.
then there's ways
That
that,
old money.
they make money that, you know, if you grow up lower class, you don't even know that. You didn't even think that was possible. You could make money that way, the way they make money. But I have a
Yeah,
question.
a lot of stuff is just being put on. A lot of people
Yeah.
just don't even know.
Yeah,
Like
and they know every way, right?
Niggas be buying trees and flipping trees.
we pretty,
Are
yeah.
you
That's
for
what
real?
we're doing.
I
yes,
believe you.
bro.
I
I'm
believe
so
you.
serious. Niggas
Yo.
be buying and flipping trees.
So wait, why are we not doing
Why
that?
is that?
Why
what
are
you-
we not
Why
doing
is
that?
that?
Why we not
Wait,
doing
I
it?
want to know. I
You
want to
put me
know
on.
why that's what he entered with after 3 minutes silence. They buying trees, bro. What?
They like flipping houses. Nah, we
He had an
flipping trees.
epiphany. He's like, "We on the wrong shit, gang. There are
He
trees.
said,
that-
"Fuck the
there are
pot. We got the
trees.
trees."
I'm gonna see him outside tomorrow with a fucking axe.
With the hatchet.
He gonna be trying to take trees. Random ass trees. He gonna try to take them.
Bruh. I didn't even know. So you just put me on. See, that's what I was saying. But
What were you gonna say, Mac?
so like, you know, before we had the CEO shooter Luigi,
That's a funny way
another crazy pivot. Yes.
CEO. So I have a question. Do you think, you know,
Gang forgot about him.
I like Bray Loom. Is that what you're asking?
I would never
No,
forget
do you
about
thi-
Luigi.
How do I want to word this question? Do you think the smaller people like us staying quiet and non-violent is ever going to get us anywhere?
Absolutely not.
So do you
Well,
think?
hold on.
So
Well,
people
okay, you said
protesting-
absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
FBI, we are not planning.
All right,
nothing.
wait, so, all
I'm
right,
not doing
so-
that.
so-
I just want to
so-
make it
so
clear
I'm not
that
doing
we are
shit.
not.
You can-
Relax.
So what I'm saying is, you can protest. We protest. People protest, and you go and sign a petition. And does this really do anything, or is it ever going to happen unless they actually feel threatened, like for real?
I don't think so. I don't think that we have to necessarily get violence to really make a change. I don't agree with that. I think if enough people band together on whatever topic that you're trying to address, or any law that you're trying to get overturned, or whatever the case may be, if there's enough people showing support, I think there will be some type of change. Maybe not the drastic change that we're looking for, but surely there will be steps in the right direction eventually. Whether maybe it may not be in our lifetime, but I think eventually, if enough people speak about this and enough people are on the same page, and let's say if we have 70% of the population saying, "Yo, this is not right," shit is gonna change. I don't think we have to kill anybody to necessarily do that. But does it make a lasting impression in the short term? Yes, much more. But in the long term, is it gonna make that much of a difference? No, I don't. Like, do I think Luigi killing that CEO is gonna make a long-term difference in terms of like healthcare and insurance? Probably not. I don't think so. But it got us talking to say in the short term, yes, these are all the problems with healthcare and insurance that need to be addressed.
So part of that, let me say this. So part of that is them conditioning people young. So this is where you get the right wing, and they'll say things like, I don't know how to say this, but like they'll control how people think. So okay, so you'll have people who are super right wing and I love Trump and I love all these things that they preach, right? But none of that shit actually benefits them because these people are lower class. You understand?
I understand what you're saying.
So them controlling their mind is not gonna help with the numbers. What you're saying is we need power in numbers, which I agree. I don't know what the point I was trying to go to, but
I think there is no incentive for ever, at least if you're someone that's moderate or conservative, there's no incentive to ever change the status quo ever.
I think I would agree with that.
So if there aren't enough people pushing for a change, there's never going to be a change. Those people won't do it themselves. So you need some type of body to push things along. Now, we could talk about like an example that I always think about is Martin Luther King versus Malcolm X. Obviously, Martin Luther King was very pivotal and necessary for the civil rights movement. People like to argue back and forth whether or not Malcolm X had a effective impact on whether things actually moved along in favor of Black people or not. I believe that he did play a significant role. Some people don't agree. I don't think necessarily it needs to be violent protest, but I think, especially today, where a lot of activism starts and ends on social media, it's super important to go above and beyond that. And I don't want to say necessary violence, but physicality, like using your physical presence, like showing up.
I agree with that.
And things like that. Like when I look at the civil rights movement, people were hosed and people like fought back. It didn't have to be necessarily people dying or killing people, like in like the Black people killing police or like other people, but there isn't ever, if the resistance or like the push for change isn't strong enough, then it's gonna be too slow for things to kind of get to where people want it. Because you said it will happen over time, but like how much time do you need? Like if you get like 1% closer every year, like how far along is that gonna get us?
And we have to give credit because we
I know
did
what you
get
mean.
changed since then. Since the 60s, there are people who are still alive, and a lot of things
Right.
have changed, though.
Well, I don't want to cut you off, but look at all the shit that Donald Trump just set all the way back
All the way back.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
fucking his executive orders, just like that.
Yeah.
That nigga Thanos snap mad shit.
Yeah.
There's some things that I don't think got fully destroyed, because I didn't look into all the particulars. But look how easily, like, he was able to roll some shit back because we didn't go as hard enough as we could have, because we were kind of playing the status quo game, in like a slow approach, like a calm, cool, collected approach, which, for the sake of society, is probably the thing that should happen. But for the sake of maximum benefit for like a leftist world, that probably isn't going to get you to the most left world. But I think in a world where like liberalism and like freedom for everybody is the thing, I don't think we'll ever be in that world, because there's always going to be the people that are conservative or like against that, if that makes sense. So.
Do you guys think that the last do you guys think that the last 4 or 5 years has been better or worse than the 4 or 5 year period before that? So do you guys think like
On what
2050
metric?
Huh?
On what metric?
I don't know. I guess, do you think things have changed for the better? Do you think that like the country has changed for the better? Do you think 2015 to 2020 versus 2020 to 2025 now? Do you think that this?
Well, there's
most
obviously a big
Yeah.
thing that took over 2020 to like 2022, 2023, being
Yeah.
COVID. So
okay, so yeah,
that's a pretty big out. Like,
That's
Like,
I don't think it's a fair comparison.
yeah, it's really not a fair comparison. Maybe like a
just wondering.
comparison between like 2012 to 2016 versus 2016 to 2020 would be better on like what was quote like a better world or a better America.
okay.
But
So what do
admittedly,
you think?
well, admittedly, I would like to have a comparison between the two as like an adult, because I was not an adult between 2012 to 2016. So I don't know if my opinion is like
Yeah, that's fair.
not necessarily justified or not, but maybe my
It's
my,
really
my
not. No, it's really not just.
yeah, like maybe my views on things are like skewed. You know what I'm saying? So like I can't really speak on it. So
I don't know. I was just trying to think like, I was just thinking about what we were talking about when we were like, to get things done, for things to change, and like I was thinking about what Akil said when he was like, if like people change like 1% every year, like is that really gonna make any change? And so I don't know. I was just thinking like, I don't know. I was just wondering last few years if you guys felt any type of way.
I think that like if we're talking about like right versus left or whatever the case may be.
I mean, it's not. I'm not even talking about right versus left
Well-
as much as I just mean like, do you think that society is all around better in like the USA? Do you think?
Well,
like,
I think that it kind of has to be that topic because of like
Yeah,
who
I
was
think
running the country, but
yeah.
like during those years. But
okay.
like
So-
speaking about change and whether it's drastic or like kind of like a slow burn. Like one thing that is coming to my head is let's talk about people's gender identities and how some people, you know, want to view themselves or um what is the
What
word
they
I'm looking
identify
for?
as.
Identify as, yeah, that's, yeah, sorry. Identify themselves as like whatever they feel, right? And this is something that has been building up for a very long time and has finally started to get uh accepted. But then first day, bro's in office, basically first words out of his mouth, there's only two genders, male and female, right? So
Mhm.
that is a very drastic change that happened very quickly. And I feel like for changes that benefit the right, those things happen extremely quickly.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about changes that not necessarily benefit the left or they're more so like left leaning, these are things that we generally have to like fight for and work towards. And like I can't really like think of any super drastic change that like would have benefited the left
Do you think that
in
under
recent.
the Joe Biden presidency that was the case?
What was your question?
Do you think that during Joe Biden's presidency that was the case?
That everything was slow?
No, the reverse. You're saying that everything right wing gets passed a lot in the current atmosphere. Do you think in the flip side was true in the Joe Biden?
Well, I don't.
administration?
I don't think that during his presidency, what type of like left-leaning thing was passed
I don't know.
extremely quickly. That's what I'm saying. I can't even think of one.
He
So that's what I'm asking. Do you? So I'm
Yeah.
saying.
So I'm saying
so you're
no.
saying
that-
it's not.
I don't-
It's not a. So you're saying that. So
They could have been something that went under the radar, because we don't.
I mean,
think-
there could have been, but
I think and like I forget who said it, but no, I think P said it. Like we're still fairly young in the grand scheme. Like I probably only voted in 3 elections. I think I'm not exactly sure.
It's a lot.
If I look at the Obama, if you start at Obama, that is he was coming out of the fucking '08 market crash. Like we were in the shitter. America was in the shitter. Obama, that administration brought us back to life pretty much. That was like the left. Not the most progressive, not the far left, but like left. As soon as Donald Trump gets in, he started doing whatever he does. We start going on a downtrend. COVID happens, I think, towards the end of his shit. Now Biden is coming in. He has to clean up the mess from Trump and also kind of deal with the shit of COVID. And I think Biden, at least as far as our economy goes, kind of brought us back to upswing for our economy. Probably not the best, but like considering how bad it was at a certain point, he brought it back to something that was pretty good. And now we're right back into Trump's hands, and not only economy stuff, but social issues, social progression types of things are kind of being brought back to the past as they were like maybe even fucking 30-40 years ago, or at least perception wise on that side. So I think for like quality of life, a little bit more than what we use quality of life for, than just like I had a great day, I live in a great house, able to afford food. I think like if you include like safety, just being able to walk around, be yourself as a black person, as a gay person, as a trans person, as whatever you identify as, I think probably in most cities, most big cities, it'll largely be fine. But for the most part, like it is definitely getting worse.
what's going on? Over there?
It's Nova. It'll mostly be fine, but I think right now we haven't gone fucked yet, but these next 4 years are probably going to be some of the worst 4 years that we've seen for some of those things, I think, in a long time. And if economically shit goes bad, it's just going to get really bad.
Yes, sir. And something that happens sometimes is, correct me if I'm wrong, one administration will be in office, they pass a bill, and then by the time they're out of office, you'll start to see the effects of those bills being passed. So you say, oh, look, it got better when this person was in office. But it's like, but that was set in place before the second president got
Right.
into that office.
Mhm.
So that could also be a thing.
Trump is about to benefit from that for the second time.
That yup.
He
Shit,
benefited
bro.
from
Okay.
He definitely
But-
did
Obama.
benefit.
But let me play devil's
from
advocate.
Obama.
You can't say the flip side, saying that if the economy was brought up in Joe Biden administration, so what's not to say that that was done because of whatever was passed by Trump?
That could be the
Well,
case.
And I don't like Donald Trump, so I'm not here
That
to
could be the
fucking
case.
That isn't the
glaze
case.
or nothing.
That isn't the case
But how-
because we were fucked in COVID,
That's true. And
And then-
inflation's crazy right now.
and
but
then
but COVID was the greatest market economy ever seen in the last. I can't even tell you how many years.
by what metrics? Most countries were struggling. I don't know.
Sorry for USA. We're talking specifically about USA.
Yes.
So with the exception of small businesses, yeah,
Very many people were struggling across the globe.
yeah. No,
During
but
COVID.
I'm talking about the USA, right? Because this is the USA episode.
Many countries across the globe, including the U.S., were struggling.
Yeah, yeah.
And out of everybody, the U.S. bounced back the fastest from the negative ramifications of COVID.
Mhm.
U.S. bounced back the fastest,
Okay.
and that is because of Joe Biden, not because of Donald Trump, which was your question.
Okay. I guess we'll have to agree to disagree. Because I don't even think it was because of Donald Trump, but I don't think it was because of Joe Biden.
Then what was it? It wasn't the magical.
Well, I
Economy
don't
fairy.
credit Joe Biden with the increase of the economy. I think that was already set in stone. I think that what happened in 2020 and 2021, which is a golden swan event, at least economically.
I don't even think the economy's in a good place right now, at all. Right?
Oh, I do.
Nah,
It's not.
it's not.
Oh.
It's pretty shit. It's
So when was
Inflation
the
is
so when was
crazy.
the economy good?
Like just before
COVID.
So the last
Yeah.
time the economy was good was 2019.
Yes, that's like what people would say, and then COVID like fucked everything up, and then again across the world, governments and nations across the world got fucked, and then I think the U.S. bounced back the best out of all the countries, largely because of Joe Biden. And I am way far left of Joe Biden. Joe Biden. I wish he did more shit for progressiveness and progressive ideals, but for the U.S. he did a lot, and I think that if you and I don't really give a shit about presidents for real, but if you go by the metric of who's the best president of all time, you slight weight gotta give Joe Biden his credit for the shit that he navigated in the time that he was president, especially as a one-term president. I think he did a lot of good stuff. People are gonna say whatever they want to say about Joe Biden, but what we could have been in versus what we got back to is pretty impressive.
Well, what good things like jump out to you?
Yeah,
I
that's
think-
a surprising statement.
I
I never
think-
heard someone say that they think Joe Biden is like one of the better presidents. So
Well-
I'm like, I'm not challenging you. I'm like ready to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I think people would. I don't. Who did? Fuck. It's not the brand new deal, is it?
But that's
Uh,
Roosevelt.
It's either Roosevelt or Lyndon B. Johnson.
Brand New Deal is for sure Roosevelt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Or whatever it's called. Something New Deal.
Yeah.
New Deal is him. Yeah, you're right.
I
I
forget
don't know
that.
which one. Theodore.
I forget the actual legislation that Biden passed, but I don't have it all pulled up right now, and
No, you're good.
we could go back and I could go back and search it up for the next episode. But whatever act they put together that wasn't the Green Deal, the Green New Deal, allowed for building back better, which ended up being his next slogan that he would run on.
Mhm.
But just like to rebuild after COVID, like he put in some really good like things that made sense. Again, I don't have it all.
I know what you
he-
mean. It's
he-
a hard landscape to navigate.
Yeah, like he
post.
did that. He did that, and whether or not you believe that he is a great president or not, I think has nothing to do with the fact that he navigated one of the worst disasters in modern times since the 2008 crash, maybe even worse than the 2008 crash if you consider a certain thing. So fuck Joe Biden, but also if you're looking at it on the metric of like political shit, like CNN versus Fox News, like this is my shit, whatever. I'm a moderate leftist or whatever. You got to give Joe Biden his credit. That's all I'm saying. But if you're looking at like a Hasanabi type of lens, no one's gonna say that Joe Biden is the best president of all time. If you're looking at it from a Donald Trump lens, no one's gonna.
Lens? What's Hasanabi lens?
It's just like far left, like just being far left. Yeah.
Okay.
So, can we move on from my Joe Biden glaze?
Yes,
Niggas
sir.
gonna think I'm a
Yes, sir. Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Biden glazer.
My bad. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Actually, it was P who forced you to glaze.
Well, no, I was just I was curious, like you were.
Yeah, you were noticing.
Yeah.
I was
Wait,
noticing.
you don't like Mr. Biden?
I say that.
You a Mr. Trump fan?
I voted for Joe
Definitely didn't say
Stein.
that.
You had
I know
two
what
options,
I'm
sir.
on.
Who do you vote for?
I voted for Biden.
You voted for Joe Stein?
I voted for
Facts. Actually, I went for the third
I
option.
voted for Joe
Jill,
Stein,
I was banging on my
and I
chat.
took a photo in the booth, put it on my story, and tagged every girl, and that's what I did.
You think that was gonna get you?
That was the election.
I got
where
100
people was voting
responses.
For Ye.
Yeah, 2020. Yeah.
He wrote in SpongeBob. I don't know
And then
why
he
you
had,
pointed
like,
at him.
what was the percentage they voted for? Like 6%.
Not
too?
enough. It should have been
What do you mean
600.
6%?
This nigga voted for LeBron James.
Ye probably got .0006.
No, I think he got like a solid.
6% is
Make this
so
make
much.
that's a
It was
lot,
not
that's
no
a lot.
6%.
Yo, this is
bro.
the
It wasn't-
American
it wasn't-
education
it wasn't-
system need a revamp right
Yo,
now.
there was not no
No.
6%.
That shit
bro.
pissed me off to say that Ye got 6% of the vote,
Alright,
man.
6% is
You
a
gotta
lot.
go.
6%
bro.
is, bro,
That's a lot.
what?
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
lot. That's a
But
lot.
He said
but-
18 million
my
Americans
brother
voted for
Joe
Kanye
Stein
West.
gets 1%. How is
Bro.
Ye getting
No,
6?
that was a lie. I'm lying.
Get the fuck out of
But
here.
he didn't he get like a
No.
solid?
No, he didn't
No,
get no
no,
solid.
solid anything.
Mac.
My bad.
Absolutely.
Yo, y'all be writing them tabloids.
My bad. Yeah, I know.
What's next?
Oh yeah, Mac. What's next?
Niggas had me on my.
So, y'all want to talk about how TikTok was down for 14
Nah,
hours?
you had the 6 right. He got 60,000 votes.
Not 6%.
Yo.
60,000.
You did?
60,000
Okay,
votes.
So,
So,
you know,
that's not 6%.
that's still a lot.
No, it ain't.
60,000 people.
I got
is a lot.
130K subs. I could get 60K votes. What are you talking about?
That's still a lot of people.
Ye is
Alright.
asked for that.
Well, yeah, the yay, the TikTok ban does kind of go hand in hand what we're talking about.
That shit is crazy.
Yeah,
Thank
I know
God.
this guy was happy when TikTok got banned.
I'm a seasoned TikTok hater,
Yeah, we
but
know
I
you
don't
hate it.
like. I didn't. But it's back now, so it's like I didn't even
So
get nothing out of it.
before we talk about this, I
All
want
that happens is Trump gets +5 off
Wait,
this. That shit
wait.
don't
Let me
help
just to go on my just to end the
You're gonna
Joe
end
Biden.
the Biden glaze.
Yeah,
He
this-
looked the best things Biden did for America.
No,
2020 to
no.
2024.
No one is even shitting on Biden. He just want to
Alright.
Trump free glaze.
No,
It's so deep.
All right, this is an opinion piece from the Guardian. So, again, opinion piece.
Kills alt.
Yep,
Yo,
he wrote this actually.
January 20th, 2025. Headline: Biden was remarkably consequential one-term president. And the tagline, is this a tagline? I'm not even sure if that's the right thing to call it, but his greatest successes came in domestic policy, inheriting a post-pandemic economy. Biden orchestrated the best recovery in the industrial world, which
Okay.
is essentially what I was alleging. The historian, Robert McElvain,
Oh, McElvin, rock with him.
Gang.
Yep.
the historian Robert McElvain hails him as a great president, arguing that his accomplishments rival those of both Franklin. I can't read like motherfucker. Rivaling both those of Franklin Roosevelt and Lyndon B. Johnson, or unless there's another Lyndon Johnson, the two most effective of the 20th century presidents. And since Biden didn't enjoy the congressional majorities those giants had, yeah. So people like in that like if you're looking at it in that lens, he is definitely one of those because he did shit on par with them.
No, I
Considering the
agree.
time.
I agree with that. That's all pretty valid.
Yeah, these niggas Trump glazers. Don't let them fool you.
No,
Don't let them fool you.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
No, don't do that.
Yo,
No,
It could be worse. I could say. It could be even worse. Always remember. Wait, no, I'm not right though. I'm left.
he's
Yo, let me get that shit out the way, yo.
Swave is evil convy.
Yeah, you're right.
But I hate everybody, so I also
Yeah.
want to make that clear.
We're talking about TikTok and how this was a setup for Mr.
Yes.
Donald J. Trump.
And how he
That shit was
started,
so corny, bro.
He started it in 2020 and was like, you know what? No, I changed my mind. I'm
He's
gonna
the
say this."
he's the
He
OG ban
initiated it.
Chinese spyware TikTok. He's the OG of that.
Yep.
So corny, bro. And you're the one who put in our group chat, right? That you were like, this is very obvious that he gonna
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
You said that shit like a
and
week
it's
or two
funny
ago.
because
yeah.
it's funny because right before the ban happened, people were suspecting that it was going to come back like in like a day Actually, it came back in less than
Like
a
12
day.
hours, some shit.
Yeah, but like people were like suspecting that it was gonna come back in
And
less
the
than a day. and it was
unprofessional
gonna
ass
be,
message. Thank you,
Thank you,
Donald
Mr.
Trump.
Trump. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Like, bro,
Get
like,
off his
all right,
dick, bro.
Doing twirls on it anyway. You don't like TikTok?
I hate it.
You
He
hate it?
thinks
Okay, I'm
he
gonna tell
thinks
you what
the
I
brain
like
rot.
about it.
He
I'm gonna
thinks
tell
he
you what I
thinks it's the
like
brain
about
rot.
it. Okay, yeah, it could be brain rot.
Yeah, that's not to say it doesn't have a good. You go first though, for sure.
I want to say what I like about it. I do like the culture around TikTok. I think the culture is very different than any other social media platform. I think it's pure, for lack of a better word. I think that's also low key why it's so easy to blow up. Like people could just be themselves. It's not super polished. I think didn't like that format of people talking in their car starting TikTok on TikTok, right? Like-
No, people were doing that on YouTube for years.
Okay. Well, I don't count YouTube
You know-
as a social media platform.
It is.
Wait,
though.
it is. It's
Yeah,
like,
definitely
it's
is.
like
Anyway,
the biggest.
all right.
social
But-
media platform.
Point being, I don't know. I like the culture.
You know what? You know what TikTok created? That duet shit. That's the big TikTok thing, right?
Yep.
Do it,
I mean, yeah, you could do it on TikTok, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like what they know for. I
But
feel like.
but I know I've seen your For You page before. There ain't nothing pure about that.
Oh yeah.
That nigga
That's-
freaked
Your
out.
shit look like my IG Explorer,
That's
huh?
a lie.
Just
Matter of
freaked
fact,
That's a
I see
lie.
y'all in 20 minutes.
You see one video with a curvaceous.
I've seen your
woman,
For You page. And
that's
I
not
would-
Just
I
one.
would- I would
Just
say
one
that.
on your.
I want to say that.
We
it's
will get back
pure,
to that
man.
because I have some.
Two bad bitches on my For You page. Now I'm a gooner.
Exactly right. Like what? Like come on. But what was I saying? What was the point?
I just see
getting
Jack
to?
Morris
be
in this
honest.
bitch.
Nah, I think
Just be crazy out there.
I don't think it's not a super conspiracy that is
Damn.
back. Like he wanted to
My
ban
bad,
it
yo.
because he's racist. Like like one nigga hates China.
Hates China.
Mad people in
China.
America hate China for whatever reason.
Yeah, they uneducated.
Yeah,
Well,
and
but we've been taught Chinese phobia since like we're kids.
Yeah.
Here.
Wait, say who's uneducated.
What?
Like specify who's uneducated.
Racist people?
Okay, there we go. Just because. Okay, keep going.
What?
yeah. So obviously he hated it, but once he realized that he won largely because of TikTok and that type of thing, obviously he's gonna bring it back because now it's gonna be a propaganda arm for him to
Oh, yeah.
utilize
Yeah.
into the future.
Yeah.
So
and they want to try to own it because look how profitable it is,
Oh,
right?
also
Yeah.
content creators being spearheaded for all this shit too, like Nelk Boys,
Yeah.
XQC, X Trump,
yeah,
all
like
that
all
shit.
all them.
They
Yeah.
have the greatest lockdown on the social media end of things.
Yeah.
because like they just it's so easy. Everything is money related, right? The whole
Yeah.
grift aspect, you
Yeah.
can get anybody.
Yeah.
You just pay.
Yeah.
So like, I'm pretty sure they're still gonna have to sell it. Like if it doesn't get sold to a U.S. company, I think it probably has to be U.S. Then it probably will get banned. But I'm like 80% sure that they're gonna find a way to force
Yeah.
them to sell that shit.
Yeah.
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 So
And
Hundreds of
that's
millions of people use
terrible.
TikTok.
I do want to give TikTok credit for something though. I think you get information straight from like the source. How am I trying to say this? You'll get people who know what they're talking about and they'll share it and it'll very easily come up on your page. So like an example
You're
is
saying you like the TikTok algorithm, right?
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
but like I think also the type because of the culture of it, the type of content people make on it, the things
No,
you learn is different.
I know what you mean. It's less
So-
like fake shit, less selling
It's like
of shit.
so people know what they're talking. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give you two examples. The first was during the George Floyd things during 2020 when all of that was going on and people was protesting and rioting. You had people coming and talking about like black culture that we didn't even learn in schools, and then you get people saying, "Oh, I didn't even learn this in school. This is amazing. I didn't even know this was a thing." Like people on, I don't know.
No.
I can see
You're
everything
right.
else.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then the
Yeah.
trickle down to that was after all of that passed, you'll have people who do like who let's say financial coaches or people who know whatever. They'll come and they'll say, "Look, let me tell y'all these tips for this, that, and the third." And now you're learning things you never learned from anywhere else on there. Things about maybe like Palestine. People coming, "Oh, look, this is what's going on."
Yeah.
I would love to give a shout out to Twitter post Musk because I thought that had some of the greatest algorithm stuff ever. Like I taught myself so many things.
Wait, post Musk?
You mean pre?
Sorry, pre Musk. That's crazy. Post Musk is crazy. Sorry. Pre Musk.
Yeah, he let it slip, bro.
Yo,
He
edit
let it
that,
slip,
edit
bro.
that.
He
Freudian
let it slip, bro.
Getting edited.
Okay,
Hook.
we
Yo,
know
next-
we know what type of man
Wrap
he
it up.
really is.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up. No. Oh. Yo, wrap it up.
The
Yo,
Superman.
edit that shit to pre. Nah, but I was so heartbroken after, because what Twitter is now is so pathetic. But that, like, what you were saying, definitely, like, I feel you when you said that, like, you can learn shit. Because ask fucking P. I back then in the day, back in like 2019, 20, I told him I learned so many financial, like, different things, like really deep, heavy information, like crazy shit in
Yep.
different pockets of Twitter.
Yep.
And I used to think, like, how is this like even real?
Free.
Like, you can learn. People post whatever they want. Like, I had an incredibly good curated feed. All that shit is gone now, thanks to whatever the fuck For You is. That has ruined everything as a result. Like, I shouldn't even know who that Goonaside guy is, but I do because of For You page. But anyways, it's different. It's
That's
different.
culture.
That's a different
That's
podcast.
Oh,
That's
that's
culture.
culture. Yeah, your eyes
Yeah.
perked up. You were like, I see myself. in
That's
them.
culture.
But,
I see myself in the Goon side. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
but yeah,
But yeah, I see what you're saying though, Mac, and I agree. That TikTok is
Nah,
bit different.
but
I think it has.
I
some
guess I brought up Twitter to
similarities.
say that Twitter was better.
I think
than
Twitter's
TikTok
better.
ever was. That's what I wanted to say.
I think Twitter's
Pre-Musk.
better because
Pre-Musk. Sorry.
pre Musk Twitter, I feel like had a better handle on misinformation, and I feel like there's still a lot of
That
misinformation
shit would get
on
snapped.
TikTok.
Let me ask you a question. Y'all ever go on Twitter and there'll be a post and then there'll just randomly be like porn under it? Is that
Yeah, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
OnlyFans girls promoting.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever. yeah.
So,
yeah.
like-
It's all
Or
spam now.
steak ads.
Yeah, all
so now
bots
this
spam. Yeah,
leads me to what I want to tell y'all. Now I saw a theory on the internet. I want to give credit to the guy.
Yeah, fuck
Nah,
that
it was
nigga.
my theory. Fuck
Oh.
him.
It was this
Fuck
it
him. You
was your
should have.
theory?
Fuck. You should have said we thought of this theory.
Nah, I'm not gonna do that to my man.
Shit, I
Salute
thought
him,
of it,
salute
though.
him, salute him.
Salute him. What's his name? I'm so sorry.
It should better be a
I guess
shiesty
he really
theory.
got your mans.
Demetrius Fields.
Oh, the You Matter dude. No,
No,
it's
that's
Demetrius Harmon.
Demetrius Harmon.
Oh yeah.
No, Demetrius. This dude is not black. He's like, I don't know what he is. He's
Okay.
not
Alright, let's
black
hear it.
fair skin. So he had a goon theory. So I'm gonna paraphrase it. All right. I like all y'all
All right,
reactions.
man. All right, man. Let's hear this.
I don't
shit.
need no
Wait,
theories
Wait,
about
let me-
this.
Let me get up for the goon theory real quick.
All right, man.
So
Right.
I'm gonna paraphrase it. So he said in the goon theory that
Yo.
you have
Yo.
you have the right-leaning social platforms, the meta platforms. You have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have now X because Elon owns it. And what I said was you'll see a post and you'll see like porn under it. Same thing, kind of like with Instagram. It's like, I don't know, you get more porn in your explore page or more.
Not porn,
risk-
but
I've
that
never
should be.
seen
not
no
porn,
porn
but
on
like
my
risque
explore.
stuff.
You get
I've
so
never-
yeah.
Oh, was this that curly
never
haired
seen
dude
that.
with like the goatee?
Yeah.
He's like kind of look Egyptian, something like
think
that.
so.
Okay,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
you're talking about. I
Yeah.
scrolled off that shit.
He said, "Yo, theory not that fire, bro."
I
He's a
think
funny
that-
guy.
Oh
He's
no, he thought he
he's a
had
funny
a
guy.
friend.
Continue.
That was crazy.
Continue. He's a funny guy.
I think the theory.
Yeah,
is
you better
interesting.
help
I
him
think the
out.
theory's interesting.
Wait, keep going, keep going.
So
keep
he
going.
was saying, so you have those platforms and they push the porn, right? And so you'll have younger, more impressionable people on those kids on those platforms. And when you start watching porn is when you're like a tween. So they'll
A
consume it. Oh, sorry. They'll consume it more, and then they'll get addicted to porn, and then they'll become like awkward around women, and then
they become Andrew Taters.
and then what they do is they
Tater
search
tot.
up how to get girls, and then that's when the super manoscape guys will come up.
What's
Like
what's the theory? Is this not just how?
Social
Yeah.
media. works.
Yeah, it's not just.
so that's I don't know. I don't know. The theory
Local
you can
man
say.
figures out what I figured out in 2014 with my YouTube channel.
This probably is what it is. I don't know. That's the first time I heard about it. I
Is
thought
he
it was
saying
Wait,
that?
heard about, wait. So what's the theory?
You still can't know
Like,
theory.
the theory is that they push all the promiscuous gooning stuff, so the kids get addicted to porn. So then they
Let me tell you about a
search
saying
up-
from 1950. Sex sells.
sex does sell, and then they're
That's
gonna-
what it boils down to.
it's
Yeah.
it's a butterfly effect. Then they're gonna like look up all these right leaning people, or they're gonna search up how to get girls or how to.
Wait,
Well,
wait,
I-
wait,
well,
wait,
well,
wait, wait,
no,
wait,
you're
wait,
just
wait,
skipping
wait.
a step. But I know
Hold
what
on.
you mean. You get to like the gooner pornography, into disrespect women, into
Should
I
edit
can't
it-
get
should I
bitches,
edit in the
into
clip?
ED,
Should
into.
Should I edit in the clip or not?
Goon,
No.
Gooner to
Wait,
Red Pill
what?
Pipeline.
What?
the video?
There is no good in a red pill pipeline. No way.
Yeah, there is.
I think-
Yeah,
I-
there is.
I think
Hell yeah, there is.
I
You
think that's
goon
a
too
fair. I
much,
think that's
you
a fair
hate women.
assessment.
What are you talking about?
No,
You-
there is.
What?
Yes.
You're,
Yes.
I'm not saying you do, but I'm saying if you fucking masturbate all the time, you're watching weirdo porno, blah blah blah, over and over
so
and
close
over
to my
again.
Yeah, you had.
Sorry.
I think
If-
that's why people can't hear you.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, my bad. Sorry, I was saying some crazy shit. I didn't want it that close. I didn't want to sound too passionate about it. But like, yeah, if you fucking just fucking jerk off a lot, you gonna have a bad relationship with fucking.
Okay, yes,
And
your vision of women will be
objectify
skewed.
You
Yes, I
objectify
agree.
women.
I agree,
was
I agree,
explaining
I mean,
it
that's
wrong.
also
I
the
don't
porn.
apologize.
I agree.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
that's-
You just skipped the step.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
know what
explain
you
it
meant.
right.
I know
Yeah.
what you meant though.
They-
Yes.
They won't be well socialized. They
Yes,
won't be
yes,
able
yes,
to.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. He explains it way better.
Oh,
than I
dude,
do.
that
Yes.
I mean, yeah, that goes to like porn addiction and because masturbation is one thing. The porn is what they is
So-
the bad thing, right?
So the
But-
theory would be that they're pushing porn.
Yes,
So-
yeah.
You,
I mean, dude, even sometimes I get some random ass YouTube ads, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this?
Yep.
Like some really
and I feel like
inappropriate
TikTok
shit.
algorithm does
Like-
not do that though.
Like I'm like, bro,
What?
Isn't this a
I
kid's?
know I've never
No,
randomly
I've
got
seen
First
no
off-
algorithm,
first off-
bitch. Yo,
first
ain't
off-
stop
yo,
saying
for
that.
you.
Fuck
Wait,
outta
wait,
here.
wait,
Not
wait.
true.
All
Since
right.
I
Stop
finished,
saying
since
that.
I
People
finished
won't take you
university,
seriously.
I remember looking at some of
People
my
won't take you
friends' TikTok
seriously.
and being like, damn, what the fuck is that?
All right. Before we continue, I want to say this.
There ain't no way. You
Uh,
said this shit.
People gonna think I'm a goon. Yo,
I don't-
you need to take that back.
You know who brought the word goon
I
up.
think
No one even said that word until you brought it up. in
The
this ad.
conspiracy
I don't know
that
what that word means, by the way.
they are pushing anything on us, I
Mhm.
feel like is kind of
They're not
exaggerated.
pushing. I'm clicking it. Let me tell you.
Exactly.
I'm
We're,
clicking that
we're
shit,
clicking that
first
shit.
off.
So I'm gonna give
Cap.
people an example of
You were supposed to back
somebody
me up,
that's
gang.
actually doing the shit that people are theorizing or making a conspiracy. Elon Musk is doing what people actually believe is happening on platforms. He's amplifying certain content because he wants shit to be seen. He's amplifying his own content because he wants shit to be seen and perceived in a specific way. Now, we have human behavior and then we have algorithms, and like Thunderman said, sex sells.
Yeah.
The issue is that on these platforms, it's not like you can mask sex well enough while still being overtly sexual, but not explicitly showing nudity. That it's not like younger people aren't protected from it, and
Oh,
they're
that like doesn't break community guidelines or anything.
exactly.
Like that.
It's not so it can be on the platform, but
Yeah.
now they're engaging with it, and now because you're slowly from a young age introduced to that type of content. Now you're starting to see more of it, especially when you're that young. You're getting a lot of dopamine. You're probably starting to beat off for the first time. You're seeing a lot of that, and you have so much free time to engage with that type of stuff. And how many kids are there? Also, young men, old men too, that are seeing that type of content. There's a lot of people clicking on this type of stuff, and because of that, it kind of snowballs and becomes something bigger. So I don't think anyone is necessarily pushing it. I think OnlyFans girls, for lack of a better term, have identified accurately smarter them so that there's a huge marketplace for this. A lot of people want this, so we're gonna create content because this is obviously super successful. You see, like,
Yeah, they be making
Yeah.
bread.
so we're gonna do this as well, and now it just snowballs in something that becomes bigger and bigger. So I
Yeah.
don't think it's like a conspiracy that anyone's is necessarily pushing it. I think all the correct parameters for this type of environment just kind of coalesce in the perfect way for it to maximize a goonerist society.
Okay, well, I agree with what you're saying that it is like a parameter thing, but I do also think that it is being super pushed, and like,
You think it's being pushed over something else?
I do think it's.
let me
I
think.
mean,
let me think about that.
Like the reason why I say
I think the two. I think first of all, I think gambling is being pushed more and is even
That
worse.
too.
There's steak
So I
ass
wanna say
everywhere.
That
There's
takes
steak ass
precedence
everywhere.
over whatever the.
But
fucking-
that's the difference I'm saying in that is like a steak ad is like an ad, but all like the OnlyFans girl stuff is like user generated content.
yeah.
that
That's what I'm saying.
exists in
You can't really blame like any creator in that regard for like doing what makes money. Like that's like
Yeah.
saying that people who make fucking YouTube videos that do stupid
You're
pranks
not
and shit
blaming
or
them.
whatever is. I know you're not blaming, but okay, sure, maybe I shouldn't have blame. The point is though, Yeah, I think you're right. I think it
I don't-
boils down to just sex sells. I think people are hornier than ever. I think people look up the weirdest shit ever. I think people are just fucking weird. They're
Yeah.
inside all the time, especially
Yeah.
after the last 4 years.
people don't
Lack
touch
of
grass
human
enough.
interaction. They got
Yeah.
some weirdo shit going on. I remember hearing about a woman that made $1 million in a week off of her AI trained bot that responded to all of her fucking
Damn.
Messages. or
yeah,
whatever?
I don't know if you guys remember, but this
She
was
need
a
to
big
put me
thing.
on.
She's smart as fuck for that. I remember
Yeah.
when I heard that, I was like, oh nah. Now this is the fucking way to get some bread off this shit.
Yeah.
You make the AI bot that will just respond to these dudes like, yes, and I will say the biggest issue past the fucking goonerism society is the predation on loneliness. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
real
yeah.
that's
a
what
big problem.
that's the big one for sure. We've
Yes.
always had this issue with loneliness, but they're not doing any favors for it, which is why I used to be really passionately upset about all metaverse stuff. I used to think all that shit of like Mark Zuckerberg going on interview and being like, we're gonna live in the metaverse and blah blah
Yeah.
blah. I hate that shit like
Yeah.
anything, because no, the world is here. The real world is here. You cannot.
Yeah.
I hate all that robot shit. I hate all that fucking AI girlfriend shit. I hate all that shit.
Oh yeah, that
Mhm.
shit.
We
is,
have one life. You cannot run from that life. Like maybe I'm not the one that's allowed to decide that for anybody, but I'm giving my own what I think about life, and I'm just really, really, really fucking against that.
So, would y'all think? Sorry, I'm jumbling my words.
No, you're good.
Would y'all think like games like GTA roleplay, Roblox, Minecraft attribute to this?
Yes. Yes.
So-
Attribute to
where
what?
it's
Attribute to
like-
what?
Yes.
Sorry, attribute to what?
Attributed to like the lack of going outside.
Yes.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
so
yeah,
it's-
yeah.
It's a time consuming.
Pokemon Showdown.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you stay
Because-
inside, but also, yeah, like it stops you from going outside. But that's not like, and yeah, sure, you're not having human interaction in person, but
You can
doing
gain,
that, you still make bonds and make relationships.
You can
though.
find
Well,
good at it.
but I think that contrasts what he's saying, because the metaverse isn't anything fundamentally different. It's just the most extreme version of that.
But you're not getting any skill. Some video games you could get like some form of skills, right? Would you agree? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
hand-eye
shit.
Well, I
coordination.
don't think it
I made
matters
some
if you get a
amazing
skill or not, though.
No,
relationships.
no, no,
off
no.
of
What I'm
games.
saying is these role playing games, all you're doing is living a life in a game. You're not really.
You
doing
can. I
anything
think you
skillful
can
in a game.
take
like-
good out of all of those things, even if
You-
at face
you
value
can,
there's less.
definitely.
Because like that's like me saying that all my time playing Mons was all just playing
But
a
that's
game.
that
which
that
isn't
game is
true.
way different though, because
Is
that
it though?
you use your brain way more than like a GTA role play, in my opinion.
What's that VR game?
Maybe.
It's, oh,
You're right.
Where,
you're
like
right.
where you
That's not
could
even
be
a maybe,
anybody,
right,
like
but-
any character you want.
Just to impress? Nah.
Nah.
Wait, what game? What
There's
game?
some- but that VR game that you could
VR
be
chat.
yeah, VR chat. Yeah, like are you referring to that being like a detriment to society? You know what I'm talking about? VR chat.
I don't know what that game.
Nah,
is.
I know what you're. It's literally like you're like a VTuber or some shit.
Oh, you're
like
in there, you have an avatar.
Yeah, and you
And
have
then you
avatar
talk
and you
and
but
walk
like
around.
games like that, where it's like it's no actual skill to the game.
But
You're
I
just
don't think
running
that
around
matters,
talking.
I
though.
think a
but
lot.
I
I
don't-
think
I
a
don't-
lot of this shit got hyper like not hyper, just like really normalized after like COVID and people just being inside all the
But-
time. and
But then
stuff.
if you can get all your socialization in those games, why would you go outside and talk to people?
But it's not a game thing. People have already gotten all their. People have
And-
always
and
done
that's
this.
true, that's
from
technology in
fucking
general.
Discord, Skype, IRC
That's
before
true.
that.
So you want
It's not a
people to go
game
outside
thing.
more?
If anything, I
Yes,
think the
people
game
should go
helps
out-
more.
I use games as an example,
Sure,
video
sure.
games as an example, but all.
But here's the thing. Here's the
technology-
thing. I think that all like some of those things like games, all those things, there are some pretty tangible good things that you can pull out of that. What we were talking about before this with the fucking fixation on sex and goonerism society, I don't see the benefits of that. I don't see what benefits you get from watching
Being
porn all day.
addicted to
And,
porn.
and
There is none.
yeah,
There's none.
versus me playing when I was in high school. I played fucking 6 to 8 hours of Showdown a day. That shit was obviously not healthy from a face value standpoint, but I made some incredible relations, business opportunities, met some. I'm serious,
Yeah,
right?
of
Like,
cour- I'm not saying it's all bad.
no, I know. I'm not saying
Yeah,
you're
I mean,
saying that, but
yeah.
but I'm just saying that the comparison is pretty like it's hard for me to like really.
No,
like,
these are
get-
two
get-
completely
That's
different
what I'm saying,
things that
it's
we're
really-
I don't
talking
think it's
about.
I don't think it's that different.
You don't
No,
think so?
I think it
I don't
is.
think
What do you
so.
think?
it
What do
is.
you
I think it is a bit more extreme, but I don't think it's that different. Let me give you like a
Sure.
thought experiment or like a scenario. Imagine this is gonna be the most extreme version of it, and it's gonna include like the goonerism shit or whatever. Imagine
we created a new word.
Who'da
Like,
said?
imagine like our real life is GTA. Like we live life as
That is my life.
GTA is basically a model of our life.
Sure.
That's what we have today with video games. Now imagine like a like a version of life. You got the Neuralink from Mr. Elon Musk injected to every brain when you're born because he got his way because of Trump. Now
Nar.
now when you play video games, it
You
is
feel
through
that
your
shit.
through your Neuralink. You experience that shit exactly as your character. You could goon in that shit. You could watch whatever you want.
So
You
what?
can
I
watch
can sit
T-
on the couch all day and
all
play
day.
GTA?
You could just veg out like this.
Fuck.
Veg out
If
like
that's
that.
ever allowed, just kill me. Just
you're,
kill me.
You're in the fucking. You're in the Matrix.
You want some
You're locked
Sword Art
in.
Online type shit.
Exactly.
Literally, there's so many shows and movies with this. Like, that's
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
scary, bro.
And they got ads in that bitch.
Ah, no!
They got mad ads.
No, stop!
Non-skippable ads.
Not the non-skippables in there.
You-
Sword Art Online.
You when you're like, grab my shoulder, bro. You gotta eat, bro. You just made me X out the 1 minute unskippable. Start fucking breaking shit.
Non-skippable ads. I think that scenario, which is like very extreme of what I think Mac is.
Now I know what my hell looks like.
kind of aligning, but I think it's like a slippery slope, and I think we kind of have an idea of what is probably good for us, but as we go down this trajectory, we're only going to get closer to that like extreme example of not knowing the difference between humanity and
Versus like AI.
versus AI or versus like real life versus virtual reality.
Yeah.
And I think
Okay,
we
I-
need to make like a
wait,
clear
okay,
clear
okay.
stand now
Yeah.
before we get too
Too
deep
far.
into our phones and
Yes.
shit like that.
That's something
There-
that I have thought about before too. That it should be a clear distinction. I don't
Yes.
like when people combine the two.
Okay,
That-
yeah.
That I think.
I
which-
agree. I agree.
I'm no person to say. so I
But
don't
this
know,
is
yeah.
my thing. Like, yes, there has to be a distinction. So if we're using like VR chat as an example,
Yeah.
or people being on chronically online as an example, whether it's Discord, video games, whatever the case may be. Like if it's in moderation, if we're hopping in call, Discord call, whatever for a few hours, and that is like the majority of your human interaction, I don't think that's ideal, but I think overall, okay, fine. Like whether some people have social anxiety and they don't want to go outside and actually talk to people, or whatever the case may be on why they don't want to go outside, I think it's okay. But like what you were saying, and like what Instagram is trying to do, and have like these AI accounts and have people interact with these AI accounts and try to form some type of fake community with people that are not actually there, that's when I think there has to be a line drawn and it becomes troublesome.
I agree.
So yeah, like I said, me personally, I don't think that people wanting to stay inside more, like, yeah, I don't think it's ideal, but I don't think it's terrible. But if we're talking about people now wanting to have the AI girlfriend or just have a fake community in general, and now you're just not having any type of human interaction in general, and you're interacting with something that isn't real, I think that's when it becomes problematic.
Well, let me ask you this. How do we in society navigate like the continuous like technological improvement? Like how do you stop it at just like gaming with your homies and not becoming that? Because at every point in our consumption of technology throughout history, everything has always gotten better or more improved.
Well,
And
yeah, I think we're going to eventually get to that point where it can be indistinguishable. I mean, look at how far AI has progressed between now and 2 years ago.
yeah,
Have you seen the Will Smith eating
I was about
spaghetti?
to say the same thing.
Okay, yeah.
The
like,
first one and the most recent
yeah,
one.
exactly. Like this is leaps and bounds better of what it was 2 years ago, right? So it's a hard question on how do we stop it? Because if I'm being honest, I don't think there is a way we can stop it. Technology is going to continue to progress, but there has to be, when I say there has to be a line drawn, I think it's just up to that individual to be able to make their own adult appropriate decisions on. I cannot get too invested or too deep into like
That
this
would,
fake
that
reality.
would require critical thinking, which is a little bit more rare, right?
I mean, yeah, but how else would you stop it? Like, do you think that there should be laws in place to stop this?
Yeah, there should be laws to a laws to limit what exactly? I'm sorry.
Okay, well, the original question was like, if technology keeps progressing,
Yeah.
how do we stop from getting to that point? I'm saying I don't think that technology is going to magically stop progressing. And
No,
I'm saying,
it's not.
And I'm saying eventually I do think we will get to the point where distinguishing what is real versus what's fake is going to be like near impossible.
Yeah, and take
So I'm saying I don't know how to stop that because we're going to
Yeah.
get to that point. So I'm saying like, there has to be laws in place, or like realistically, I don't think there is a way to stop that.
Go ahead, man.
I want to bring up a point of like, even we're talking about AI, but take AI out of it. Even like these delivery apps, like you don't even have to leave your house to get anything. Before it was just food, you just order food. Now they have it, you can order anything.
Groceries.
You go to
your
groceries,
Five Below
toothpaste. Yeah, throwing shade. He don't even know. And like, you don't even go to the store. Like you don't even have to go to the store. Like I do think what you were saying before, where I agree with, if you don't feel super comfortable going outside and you want to get your socialization through the internet, you know, it's not ideal, but it's good. But I do think it's very important to like actually have in real life social skills, and like
I agree.
being able to go to the store and saying hello, or
I agree.
excuse me, can you help me with this, without being like, oh my God, I'm so scared to ask an employee for help.
Yeah.
Like you should have basic socialization skills. Like
I agree. I don't
Like-
think anybody would disagree with you.
and I also want to emphasize that it's okay to be socially anxious and uncomfortable, but like you should also try to like work at that and say, okay, this is uncomfortable, but I'm gonna try it and find what works for you, and you know, just try to get actual socialization and like not just focus on the internet. But I don't know how we solve it. To go back to what you were saying, I don't even know how you would solve this.
I don't know if I have like a true answer, but this is something that I've thought about for a long time. Like I was telling y'all, like how I used to be like a Elon Musk. I used to fuck with his idea of the future, and I used to want to be a futurist. But like we were just saying, that futurist shit can very easily take us away from what humanity is supposed to be, or what we want humanity to be. Like, in using myself as an example, and sorry for using too much myself, but we have to stop things like, we have to limit, we have to be, all right, it stops at this. It starts with this. Consumerism. We have to start consuming less, which how do you legislate that? How do you change society to become less consumeristic? I don't really know. I think it really
in
starts
America. I don't, because the whole
Not
country's
possible.
built off that.
Yeah.
Literally.
America's
And COVID
built.
showed that.
America's built off
And
of if
COVID
your
showed
neighbor
that.
has
If
it,
you
you
crap-
want it.
Didn't
Yeah.
it, didn't like everything really like go down because people weren't buying as much, or what was it? I don't remember.
Wait,
But yeah, we're built
I don't know
off
either.
consumerism.
Yeah,
Yep.
we are. So I think it starts with consumerism, but also like identifying things that potentially have crazy outcomes at the furthest extremes. Like science fiction is very rapidly not becoming fiction anymore,
Right.
and very
That's
very
true.
1984.
yeah.
That's true.
Those things that we thought were never possible are
Yup.
very rapidly
Yup.
becoming things that
Yup.
are reasonable.
Yeah.
Maybe even in our lifetime, maybe like when we're 80 or some shit.
Yeah.
So we need people, philosophers, whoever, to kind of like postulate and talk about it, write about it, and bring it to the social consciousness, so people understand that, hey, if we continue treading down this line, that this is where we can potentially end up. And
Yeah.
before you say something real quick,
No, you're good. You're good. It's just about what you were saying.
I'm really passionate about this type of thing because I spent a lot of time thinking about it, and it aligns with a lot of the stuff that I watched. There are a lot of movies about this, like Her is a good example. Joaquin Phoenix dating the robot, the AI shit. There are a lot of anime movies about like this kind of nature versus technology, or humanity versus technology. Point two, Ghost in the Shell is a good example of it. Studio Ghibli, Miyazaki movies have like some undertones of like fighting against industrialization, as like more natural cities or like towns, stuff like that.
Even him himself.
Yeah, him as a person is very much against the how the industry is changing,
Yeah.
and the world is changing. And also, this movie is a really funny movie. It's about raccoons or tanukis, that you could see their balls in the actual like animation, but it's that like magical tanukis trying to like stop the development of like over their forest or whatever. It's called Pompoko. But all this to say is like, make yourself aware of these science fiction things, because they are, again, rapidly becoming more possible, more likely. So if you really do want to take a stand, like I think it is cool that we could potentially have like a fucking Sword Art Online where I could be in Elden Ring playing as the Elden Ring character. That sounds fucking sick. I could be in the simulation going crazy, but at the same time, we have to know and remember our values as humans. Like, what does it mean to be human? What does it mean to be human? That really what it is. What it makes us most happy. If most people want to be fucking androids with the Neuralink in the air, then maybe that's where we end up. But like, just getting into our social conscience, becoming aware of this thing, and then making active steps to not progress that way. And again, I think that gets to consumerism, because the more that we consume things, they're only gonna, the businesses, companies, corporations are only gonna fuel it, create more technologies that are bigger and better than the last things that were made. So go outside, do things outside, engage with real things, real people, and you could game and shit, but like moderation. I don't practice anything that I'm saying, and I need to do more of it. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's good.
Type shit.
I just want to say, what you were saying, it goes hand in hand with something I liked from last year when all the like a bunch of billionaires and tech people signed the Chat GPT thing, or the whatever it is, so that it can't go too far. But that literally goes hand in hand with what you're talking about. It's like, it sure what you're saying is like, sure, you can say like, oh no, like who is anyone to say like what people should do or what is humanity? But bottom line is, the world will not progress healthily if we go down. And what you said earlier about how like you were saying, you were taking it to the extreme of like people just sitting on their couch and vegging out all day. But that is my greatest fear of where I truly can see the world going, because that's what they all wanted with the metaverse. That's what I'm very confident is what like people like Zuck wanted with the metaverse, for example. What you said, you sit there, unskippable ads, pay for sleep tokens, all that shit. It's gonna be like, I really think that's like and it's something that no like Black Mirror shit. It could really
that's
happen,
why I love
bro.
Black Mirror. That's why I love Black Mirror.
It's so not far fetched, bro. Is what I think. So yeah, but overall, I agree with what you said. It's like it hand in hand in consumerism, and there has to be some conscious like under like noticing of it to where you got to stop the shit.
I'm gonna be like them niggas in Wally. In a course.
That's my goal.
Turn that shit off, bro.
Yeah, we do not.
What I wanted to say was also, this is obviously a problem for people of all ages, but definitely a problem for more impressionable younger people, because it's still developing.
I think sorry to cut you off, but COVID fucked a lot of younger kids up in that regard.
Socially, yeah.
Yeah, because I know like school started up for at least the school in my parents' hometown, like where I went as a kid, and I guess in my hometown obviously too. But anyways, the first year 2020 they had to stop school obviously because of like health concerns. But the next year the school opened up again, but they said it was optional. So one of my neighbors, his son is in 6th grade, said, I like being at home, I don't want to go. Bro, his social growth is giga stunted now.
Which is crazy, because I feel like at that age I would have wanted to leave the house and go.
Bro, you're a kid.
Now you want to stay home and play Roblox, bitch.
Bro, you're 12. You're
stay home and play Roblox.
Bro, you tell any 12-year-old that he can go to school every day or stay.
You stay home.
Come on, gang.
I'm playing.
I'm hopping on Rivals.
So I'm low-key like so grateful that we
I'm taking naps, gang.
Yeah, right before, but
right before
kind of
all
during
of that,
it though.
because I don't know.
We definitely grew up in it,
because so you kind of had to go outside to go see your peoples. Like, I want to go chill with you.
I mean, I can tell you straight up, 9th and 10th grade of my high school, like, yeah, I had friends. Yeah, like I was like normal, but I was going home and playing on my computer from fucking 3 p.m. to like 10, 11 p.m. every day for 9th and 10th grade. I had friends. I would hang out with my friends outside of school, like the same 2 or 3. I wasn't like a lame at school or something, but I was giga addicted. So, sorry, what were we talking about? I was just trying to like to say that like. Sorry,
what I was going to get to the point of, don't let technology do all the work for you, all your thinking for you. You have to like still think for yourself and.
Oh, sorry. I was just answering to the point where you said like we grew up and before it, because I don't think we grew up before it. I think we grew up during it or with it.
Yeah.
Well, with it at the early stages. Yeah.
I think millennials, like proper millennials, maybe like 35-year-old like ish. Like we're not too far from that, so we're still on the cusp.
Speak for yourself. I got a friend online that's 35, and he always be talking about how he was one of the first internet dudes and how he used to be on something awful forums and shit like that. Like
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
But-
like they be some fucking old heads
was-
out there,
Well,
gang.
wait. All that to say is, like, I think people, they be annoying about it sometimes, but they really did, but also us, grow up at the perfect time
Yeah,
where,
yeah.
like, you know what the world is like and you
Yeah.
know how to engage with the real world, but
For
you
sure,
came
for sure, for
about,
sure.
like, and I'm not saying anything new. People, a lot of people smarter than me have said this. They've come about at the time where all this is growing at the same time. So you learn how to use it,
Yep.
and you don't
Yeah.
necessarily learn how to use that specific platform. You kind of build a skill set and like a critical mindset to
Sure,
apply
sure,
to
sure.
different other things.
Yeah.
And people that are growing up now, like the fucking 2010 children born in 2010, like they're probably 15 now, or like born like 5-10 years ago,
Yeah.
they're gonna be so cooked, bro, because they're
shit.
in an environment that's only mad misinformation, super ADHD, fucking attention destroying shit.
Oh yeah, all the
my little
content,
sister-
all the content is so weirdly fixated on being like short form and for like ADHD squirrel
Yep.
brain shit.
Yeah.
That shit didn't exist back in the day.
yeah.
Bro,
yeah,
my baby
fact,
sister, she's
fact.
16 right now. Yo, you know how much she be using Chat GBT for her work, bro? You think,
Bruh.
bro? I was lucky if we found the Spark Notes
Spark
for
Notes?
that shit.
Yo,
bro.
I was about to say
Yo,
that.
if I,
Oh,
let me
dear.
tell you something, bro. If I
Oh
if
my
I had
God.
access to ChatGPT in middle or high school,
Bugging,
I
nigga.
would
I ain't
not
doing
have been
shit.
doing
Not doing
shit.
nothing.
I would not have retained anything in class. I would not have done anything, bro.
You know how crazy Spark Notes was for us back then in high school?
Bro,
How-
that shit was that
that was
giga
like the
hack.
we
best
thought we
thing
came
ever.
up on some fucking black market shit. We thought we came
Yo.
up on the greatest shit ever.
Mind you, Spark Notes are still low key. Like you still have
No,
to
no,
you still have
Spark
to
Notes
read.
still
You
gas.
still have to
Read that
read.
shit.
You
Nah,
have to
that's
read, like,
still that
2
ga-
paragraphs.
Yeah. If you don't read that long ass Spark Notes, you're cooked. You're
Yeah.
cooked.
But I do think the parents really have to work harder, or not necessarily work harder, but like you can control what your kids. So instead of like Roblox, you could like put a coding app, right? Or maybe something that can actually help them.
I
Or
don't
like
think
when you're watching, I don't know.
I mean, you can also put, like,
there's
screen
there's
time.
definitely things that you can get
Yeah,
put
but you
for a
you,
kid
you,
that
you
they
gotta
can
you gotta
learn.
put
I
in that
think-
You have
extra
to be
effort.
on it.
You have to be
You have to
on
put
it.
on-
And the
yeah,
Bro, my
parents
parents,
kid
on
will
it,
not be an iPad kid. Straight up.
yeah, definitely,
Straight up. Like
definitely.
definitely not. You know what I'm saying? You have to write steps. If I give my kids
Nah,
I'm
see
definitely
that. See,
putting, like, an
I'm
instrument
doing
or,
I'm doing a
like,
lane switch and
coloring
starting a
book.
boot camp, so you can send your
Oh,
kid.
I was at my
to
kid.
my
Yo, boot camp.
shit.
God,
I feel like
God,
the children that are most at risk of that are parented by parents that aren't equipped for the society, or aren't equipped to prepare them for that society. Like
Fair.
we all are gonna do those things because we know better,
Yeah.
but there are a lot of parents that aren't gonna know better,
Mm.
and then that's how you get more of the fucking brain rot kids.
Skibbity toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I think we're at 122.
Oh wow. All right.
Yeah,
Well, all right. I think that'd be a good time to call it.
got a long pod for y'all
Yeah,
today.
this was a good one.
The
Well-
Joe Biden cast.
Yo,
Yeah. Well, you.
new Joe Biden.
All right. Well, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for supporting, and we'll catch y'all on the next pod. Peace.
Peace.
Let's go.